Welcome to another episode of Make Good Food and Make Good Choices. I'm Mrs. Fidretti, and today we are everything eggs. It's excellent. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end up preparing eggs a few different ways to give you the flexibility of the way that you love it. And so today I had a friend of mine stop by with farm fresh eggs from Redemption Acres, not too far from me, and she'll be sharing a little bit also about her farm and the difference in eggs. And so the very first and probably the easiest way to prepare an egg is using a fry pan or a skillet. I'll add a little olive oil, and oh, look what happened. This is for me to show you what not to do. Okay, because it happens all the time in the classroom. Did you see, I don't know if you guys can see it, do you see the smoke? Maybe not, but can you see the black in the pan? So a couple of things, but I knew this was gonna happen, so I kind of had my paper towel prepared. What can easily happen to you in the kitchen is, I'm gonna turn this guy off, there we go, is that you are ready, but you're not completely ready when you're preparing something, and in this case, adding oil, or maybe it would be butter, to a pan. It gets so hot that immediately you start to smoke, and immediately everything turns black. When that happens, if that happens, then all you need to do is take your pan off the heat. You're gonna have a paper towel and wipe that out very carefully. Let your pan cool down a little bit, and then you'll start again, okay? So it's just a quick tip. It happens all the time in the classroom. So I thought, well, I'll just demonstrate it for you at home, and that way we'll prevent it from happening at your house. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on this induction oven, or induction stovetop, I think I'm good, to about medium heat. We're gonna give it a go the right way. Go ahead, be ready with my egg. My oil is fine. But the pan was a little warm, and so I'm getting a nice sizzle. I've got my garbage bowl over here. And go ahead, I'm just gonna demonstrate just one egg for you. Start putting that in the fry pan, and since I'm right here, I'm gonna put a little cracked pepper and salt. What a great and easy and fast. So I should time myself. How fast it takes to fry an egg, it's not very long at all. Some of you like your eggs over easy. Some of you like them over hard, and some of you like them more soft. I'm gonna see if this will work. So if you want, many of you at home might do this and cover it and have a very soft yolk. It's not flipped over, but the yolk will cook itself. That's one way. The way that I like it is I like a fried over easy egg, but I like the yolk a little bit. I'm trying to keep it on this side, so I'm hoping that you guys can see it. And if I was to use this egg and create a breakfast sandwich from it, I would go ahead and pop that yolk. That way I could just toast 2 pieces of bread, throw it on with a piece of cheese, and we're good to go. So here it is. I'll show you, flip it out, and there you are. Garnish that up. Another way to easily prepare is by scrambling an egg. So in doing so, what you will do is the same process. I'm just going to scramble one, and oops, here we go. It gets a little sassy at me. You want a little non-stick in the pan. Wow, look at that yolk color. It's amazing. And when you scramble, a little bit of milk. Season it. Pop it in your pan. Oops, here we go. I'm ready, not ready. That yolk, it's amazing. I'm gonna quick wipe this pan out just because too long. So with scrambling, you want milk for the scramble, and you want it to set up. I'm going to turn it down. You want it to set up. This looks more like I'm making an omelet, which I will. And you're going to go from the bottom to the top. Keep your eggs moving. When I get to showing how to prepare the omelet, if you mess up, well, you have a scrambled egg. It's fine. You do not want to overcook or undercook. And a little bit of cheese. You can throw some onion in there. This is great inside of a breakfast burrito. So I'm hoping that you can see, very light and fluffy. So that's the milk is going to make your eggs nice and light and fluffy. Now for an omelet, everybody's favorite. First thing you want to do is, what do you want in your omelet? I'm going to go ahead, I had some green onions left over, and this isn't on yet. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on medium. Sauteing a little bit of, put in about a teaspoon of olive oil. Start with your hardest to cook product first, and in this case onions will take the longest. Whatever takes the longest to cook. I don't mind my onions being a little bit crunchier, especially a green onion like this, but my mushrooms, I'll break those up. They're a softer food, but if you break them up small, you just don't want to overcrowd. When you're sauteing anything in a pan, do not overcrowd it at all. I want them slightly browned, and I'm going to add in, you could do turkey bacon, but this is just one piece of bacon. This pan is really slippery. One piece of bacon, and I diced that up. You could do sausage or ham. It was something that was already, we'll make several batches of meat, keep it in the refrigerator, especially because everybody's home right now, and it makes it very easy for our family. I'm going to add some tomato. Again, things that were in, we made BLTs. So this was already in the refrigerator. And some greenery, baby spinach. It's a great way to add veg into your world without feeling like you have a lot, but there it is. I'm not overcooking this. I'm just not. I have a bowl to put my cooked, what I want inside, and I'll go ahead and get after making the omelet. I'm going to pause that in the induction because I want to tell you that we're going to do this very specific recipe for, an omelet. And it is 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of water. That's it. I know, no milk in the omelet, but 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons of water. Whisk that up, season it. You could make this up ahead of time. Have your eggs all ready to go. If you do 4 eggs, do 4 tablespoons of water. If you do 6, so sometimes for my family, I'll do a bunch of eggs, and I'll have all of our fixins set up and ready to go. And again, medium heat. I'm gonna cook seasoned salt, pepper, or whatever you would like. I love thyme in eggs. Love it. So if I have fresh thyme, I'll just garnish it that way. Okay, I've got oil in the pan, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of water. I'm going to wait until it starts to form a little bit of a crust. You're watching it, you're making sure it's not too hot. And then what you're going to do is begin to create a hole and fill it. Create a hole and fill it. Use a wooden spatula, or this is a small rubber one. And basically you'll start to see these ribbons of egg. Create a hole and fill it. And you keep doing this until the liquid, this will keep shutting off. This is an induction oven, or an induction stove top, and it is meant to be in full on contact with this bottom of the pan, so it'll automatically turn off. If you have a little bit of liquid on the top, I'm just going to pull that closest to the edge that it is, being very careful not to rip a hole. This is a 9-inch pan, so you can see it makes a fairly big omelet with just 2 eggs. Now when you go to fill your omelet, should you put it all over or go on half? It's better if you go on half so that when you go to flip it, you're good. Now, the way to tell is you don't have a lot of glossiness. So you can tell with that omelet, and you see that there's not a lot of glossiness. There's a little bit, but that's going to cook once we put our fixins in half. Cheese. Great protein. Go ahead and you're just going to flip that over. Here's the beauty of the omelet. You let it sit on kind of a lower heat to melt your cheese. You could do the cheese on the bottom and then your fixins. But if this ever starts to rip on one side or the other, no problem. You just flip it. Nobody needs to know. You pour a little salsa on top or add a little bit of garnish. So beautiful. I just can't get over with this fresh eggs how dark that yolk is. So I'm just going to layer that and set this omelet on the plate. Literally, that could be two different meals. I'm going to slide that out. Beautiful. Pause. And sometimes you can just say there's a piece of escaped bacon. There you go, a little salsa drizzle, right? And that could be your omelet. Those 3 different ways that you can easily prepare an egg for great protein, low calorie, easy to grab different things and put them into your egg product that you have already in the refrigerator to create a fast, easy, filling up, nutritious meal. So I hope that this helped with dispelling ways to prepare an egg. So as promised, chefs, I wanted you to have a chance to meet my friend Angie from Redemption Acre Farms. It's a local farm that serves the community and serves farmers markets. She has about 100 chickens and they have lots and lots of farm fresh eggs, these beautiful ones you see here. I don't know, there's just something unique and special. I have typically grown up with just white conventional eggs from the supermarket, and when you get to see all the different varieties and colors, I have such an appreciation for that. So Angie and I are connecting, but we're doing it safely during the stay-at-home order, and so I'm going to have Angie pop around here, have her own space, share a little bit about what they do and why are eggs different colors and some other tips and tricks as well. Are you ready? Okay, Angie, thank you so much for coming over and sharing your eggs with us and being a resource just to teach students about small business farming and Redemption Acres. So tell us a little bit about Redemption Acres.
Redemption Acres is our family farm in Belle Plaine. We have about 11 acres. We grow vegetables without any chemicals or pesticides, and we have chickens for eggs. We also have goats for meat and milk, and we do meat chickens for our family once a year. So we started farming because we figured out after having a small garden that we loved growing our own food. It's fresher, it tastes better, and then we love sharing that with other people too.
I love it. So you brought 3 dozen, thank you so much, eggs to my doorstep during this time. And tell a little bit about the color, the shape, how they're different, and how farm fresh eggs are different than conventional eggs at the grocery.
So our chickens are what we call pasture raised. There's a few different kinds of chickens. Most eggs that you're going to find at the store are from chickens that live their life sitting in a cage. So they don't move, they stay in a barn, and they lay a few eggs a week. So you also get free range chickens. What that means is they live in a barn without a cage. And they're free to walk around. Then you have some chickens that are allowed to go outdoor when they open the door in a small fenced area that's usually dirt, and then they go back in. So our chickens live outside, and then they can go into a coop. They sleep in a coop at night, a little house, or in our barn. Otherwise, they're outside all the time unless it's a snowstorm. So every breed of chicken lays a different colored egg. So a white egg or a green egg or a blue egg or a brown egg, the nutrition is the same depending what the chicken eats, but every breed lays a different color. So a green egg comes from a breed called an Americana. They were a heritage breed in Omaha. They're my favorite. We have a lot of them. They've been brought back now. So their blue egg is an Americana chicken mixed with any other breed. So that's how you get a blue egg. So we have quite a few blue eggs because we've hatched our own chicks. And then the brown egg is the most common. It's a ton of breeds, hundreds lay brown eggs. And then there are a few really productive breeds that lay the white eggs that you would typically find in a supermarket. When a chicken first starts laying eggs, they're small. They're pretty small. Sometimes they can even be half this big, and that would be called a fairy egg. They don't have a yolk. They're kind of fun. As the chicken gets bigger, or as it regulates itself, then they get to a more typical size. So we do get extra jumbo eggs occasionally, and we feel sorry for the hen, but they're delicious.
That's awesome. And nutritionally, I know that when I crack one of your eggs and I do a conventional egg, the yolk looks different and even sets up differently.
Yeah, we always say you're eating whatever you're eating ate. So we are benefiting by eating the eggs from the chicken's diet. So we feed them mainly grain, and it is free of soy and free of any genetically modified ingredients, GMOs, and they're out pecking around. So chickens are omnivores, so most chickens, they only get grain, and they don't get any of that extra protein or bugs or mice even that they will chase down and eat. It sounds disgusting, but it makes delicious eggs. So that's why the yolk is darker and more nutritious on a pasture-raised chicken.
Awesome. Thank you.